Hi, everybody. This is Lowell, and we're talking about how to start a music school. And my first video, it was to start with why. And I think it's important that you get to the core of your thoughts, your inner being, and discover what it is that makes you want to do this. Um, and so I wanted to help you discover that by asking three questions. And so the first question, which seems a little bit odd maybe to you, but in your life, what is it in that you've seen um, in in this profession or just by observation that makes you mad? What is it that makes you mad? Um, when you discover internally uh, something that makes you mad, then you've discovered something that you care about. I had a member of the music team I used to work with who consistently was always, was distressed or distraught about certain things being done a certain way. And she came in wearing a T-shirt that says, "I yell because I care." And so I thought that was funny. And that's true. What we care about, we can get angry about. And so what you're passionate about, you'll have a sense of righteous indignation about. Secondly, what is it in your life, a situation that gave you insight that set your life on an entirely different track that you really are appreciative for? Something that inspired you a, a sense of truth that somebody, maybe a mentor, maybe a teacher, maybe a coach, maybe a book, maybe a movie, some sense of a moment where it was you would call it an aha moment. What moment did you experience that you sensed, wow, this changed me for the better? I know something that I didn't know, and I really appreciate it. So just ponder what there are a few moments. I can count on probably one hand those moments in my life. And then the third thing is what what has given you deep inspiration? What moments? These are different moments, um, moments that have sparked a deep yearning inside of you, a deep sense of beauty, um, just an awareness of something that you love. There are these again. This is not something you pursue necessarily. That, oh, like I went on a binge listening to Gustav Mahler's symphonies. And that was just something that I wanted to do and chose to do. But it's something deeper than that. It's a moment that happened to you that was good and that sparked a memory, and not a intellectual memory, but an emotional memory that will stay with you forever. Some moment of deep inspiration. Think back on those three things. What made you mad? Uh, that you see around you, maybe observing in society. Uh, what what has given you insight, and then what has given you deep inspiration? Um, that if you can answer some of those questions, maybe there's several things, and just get out a sheet of notebook paper and write down what those are and identify the strongest ones, and that will help you kind of rein in your why. Um, this is an example, which is not necessarily for you, but for me. I see and I'm going to talk about this more in my next video, but I see a departure in our Western civilization from the foundations of what made our societies great. And I believe that we need to recapture those things. And one of the most important things you can say about any culture is their music, and classical music in particular. But everything that classical music became into American culture, it's standing on things were intertwined with Western culture. And I find that one of the most important things we could do to regain and retake Western culture is to get back to music basics and training people in our society how to appreciate and participate in music in groups and in community. And I believe that that's something very important. And so that's an example of something that I'm deeply concerned about and actually angry about. And so that's how starting a music school ties in for me. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about those things in succeeding videos. But consider those three things and come up with your own.